6,000 people are homeless in Broward and Miami-Dade counties.
This is not a Miami problem.
How can you not want elderly person to find a home, a roof over their heads?
So many families are struggling to pay next month's rent.
South Florida's housing crisis, why we don't feel a relief, even market is slowing down.
The expenses have gone beyond what I can possibly handle.
Coping with the affordable housing crisis will be one of the biggest issues impacting families.
Housing affordability is a big question in South Florida, and that's what we'll be discussing in this video. And this is a very critical topic if you are looking to buy, invest, or even sell property in South Florida, because it's knowledge is the power. If you keep yourself educated what's happening behind the scene also, that helps you understand how the South Florida real estate market is behaving. So house affordability in South Florida has reached a very critical point, leaving thousands of families stretched thin and concerned about their future. And this is real. It's like rentals have been increased so much high. It's very hard for even lower to middle class family to afford even one-bedroom properties. And same with the buy side too. Properties are older in South Florida and paying higher price, that's giving them buyers a feel of why to buy this kind of old property in this high price, and its affordability is becoming a big question in Miami, Broward, or Palm Beach County. Miami has the highest feel of this unaffordability compared to Broward and Palm Beach, but Broward is getting up to Miami now, and it's crazy. I live in Broward since last more than 12 years. We never seen this kind of feel where you feel like, oh, even spending $600,000-$700,000 for buying a house is not enough, and you do have to put some more money in a remodeling. And that's what we will be discussing, what is actually causing this affordability issue in a housing site. So if you don't know me, my name is Komal Acharya, and I'm a local real estate expert. I run small real estate team. If you are looking for buying, selling, or investing in South Florida area or in general Florida area, I have a team to support you. We do offer free Zoom consultation where you can evaluate yourself if really this is the great state to put your money in. Now let's start the real numbers. In Miami, rent for one-bedroom apartment average is $2,400 per month right now, which is far beyond the reach of many working class residents. So if you see the number-wise, in fact, 14 of the 21 occupations expected to see the most growth in Miami-Dade over the decades. Jobs like healthcare aides, cooks, warehouse workers, but they do get the very minimal hourly wage, which is under 19, and they didn't see the raise in last decade as much they should be. But the prices have went up, but the wages are not up to the mark, and that is why that gives a feeling of unaffordability. Now, my main reason is my analysis says the growing of this shortage of affordability, not just the high price and the lower hourly wage, but also the lack of affordability housings. So if you talk about South Florida, we are shortage of lands right now. Everywhere is buildings, even though you consider the suburb. But if you go in Miami, it's more crowded than ever right at this moment. And that gives a shortage of over 90,000 affordable units. You do find the buildings, but those are so expensive, like a middle class can hardly afford. Even on a buying side, it's very expensive. If you consider the HOA numbers, assessment charges, all those are increasing along with the property insurances. We are going to talk in next point, but right now I'm focusing on actual research has been done that 90,000 almost units are less in a Miami-Dade County. And if this persists, then it can go up to the next couple of years, 116,000 lack of affordable units. So unless some huge steps happens and someone puts those units in, that can reduce the gap also. So this could be the opportunity for the investors who are looking to invest for bigger level, if they have a plan to put some affordable housing in all these counties, all three of them are lacking affordable units right now. Now discussing about the buying side, the rentals are higher, but buying side also much higher, especially in the pandemic. We got a feel about even spending $600,000-$700,000 for single family houses are not enough anymore in Broward, Palm Beach. Palm Beach is still okay, but Broward and Miami. And the houses are very, very old in general here. Like a lot of buildings are built around 1940s, 1950s. Average construction in suburbs happened around 2000. So most of them do need either roof or extensive on the remodeling. So you do have to have a side money where you need to go through those comfortable numbers, even though you're investing X like 600,000 plus number for single family houses. And that's what creating a big friction for middle class families. And average price in a good cities where A plus schools are now, median sale price, which were at some point in 2019 or 2020, which was around 600,000, like a Parkland, Weston, Boca Raton. And now those numbers have gone up to even $1 million plus median sale price. So Miami is out of question right now. But even suburb areas in a Broward County, which mostly people were recommending to buy, those areas went up also. And because of that, it's kind of giving the feel of unaffordability. Now let's talk some other points on why this high prices is just because of the pandemic market or something else also played a role. So according to me, the big factor played a role is the role of private companies. So a lot of private company invested in this pandemic time, especially in South Florida areas. They bought communities and communities. And those private equity firms with the large investment buying, the normal people had to compete with those private equity firms. And that also created the multiple offer situations. And because the rental always has been great in South Florida, even before pandemic, the rental market has been great. So I advise my investors, compared to the North Florida, South Florida market has a more tighter and more profitable rental side. Even the properties are old, but still they make good amount of profit, and there's a good chance of building the equity if you are looking for long-term investments. So considering those advantages, a lot of private equity firms invested a lot of them with cash in pandemic time, and that boosted up a big high numbers, especially in certain areas around 40% or even 60% higher prices. So in these recent years, private equity firms and large investment companies have increasingly dominated the housing market and making it even harder for first-time home buyers also to compete. So these investors often backed by substantial financial resources, and they targeted lower to middle income neighborhoods. And that's what made it more difficult right now, where the first-time home buyers are struggling to buy in South Florida. Now, another big change is happening in a condo sites. Before, condos and townhouses are considered affordable, but it's not anymore affordable because of this HOA crisis. And I do have specific videos about those HOA issues if you want to check out. But the brief, if I talk about the HOA issues and why this condo and townhouses are not anymore affordable in South Florida, because HOAs have increased their numbers incredibly in some areas. And if the buildings are very old, they are adding the assessment fees. Assessment fees are considered when they had to go through some kind of renovations in the common areas, in the buildings, in roof, because HOA normally covers this whole building is completely vacant right now, and they are going through full construction of the building. If you see it all on the front, they started, this part is all done. They started with another building, full area, a lot of things happening there, the roof and the exterior areas. So if they have to invest in those, they are adding those assessment fees. And they are even monthly HOA fees have been increased also regardless of assessment because of the property insurances, because the majority of the property insurances, since they cover the roof, they have to pay. And that's something not everybody is able to understand, why HOAs has been increasing in South Florida. And property insurance is not just for those condos, but also for the house owners have been crazy higher. So property insurance for the regular homeowners, like single family houses, that's also have been increased. So in general, those are the extra charges the homeowner has to consider, and that that's what goes in your monthly mortgage also, and that's why it doesn't give you feel about affordability. So now focusing on the solution, this is a very slow path to recovery. Unfortunately, fixing this housing crisis is not a quick fix, and that's the fact, and that's why you need to be very educated when you are doing anything about the real estate in South Florida area. And new construction affordable units are slowed by high land cost right now also. And also there are a lot of hurdles going through the developers of the high cost they have to give. So again, it's opportunity for the investors who are looking to buy some of the affordable properties or affordable plans in a development side. And if you are looking to invest here on affordable side, if you are going with the good negotiation, which is this market is offering right now, you need to be very smart to buy, especially right now. And efforts to increase affordable housing options have been. So at the end of the day, conscious or well-educated buyer will win in this market, or even seller who watches the time, what's happening in a market, and make a decision accordingly. Real estate is never about the emotions. So you need to be very well educated. Knowledge is your power. So while local governments or housing advocates are working on the solutions, we don't know how South Florida will react to those unaffordability housing crises, but definitely this is the market is more than ever needs a proper education. And that's why I make this kind of videos. And if you want to be educated about the real estate and what's happening in financial side in real estate, then follow me or subscribe my channel, and also comment me here what you want to hear from me or what kind of videos you like it, so I can put my research in front of you. Thank you, and I'll see you in my next video.